Hello, it's me, Jess. Welcome to my channel. I'm here with another channeled message. This is a specific message. It might resonate with you, it might not. All right, so this is one of the more interesting messages that I have ever received, and I don't know where you sit on the timeline with this, so of course take this however it's resonating for you, but I feel like either something has just happened in the recent past, or it's about to happen in the very near future. This is very much like right now energy. And I think there's one group where this is the first instance of something like this occurring on your timeline in this lifetime. And there's another group here where I feel like it's the second time that something like this has happened on your timeline. And if you're part of this second group here where this has happened before, I feel like this message is meant to serve as a debrief of the first instance, because I'm hearing that you didn't understand the significance of that moment. And I don't think that you were meant to, and I feel like that's kind of for your own protection, but it presented as some kind of decision or message or something here that seemed really inconsequential, but actually it was extremely consequential in terms of like your fate lines. And so we're going to debrief with that because there's something positive about you understanding that moment now, or helpful, or maybe even requested. And if you're a part of this other group though, where this is the first time that something like this has occurred on your timeline, I think this might be the group where it's just happened in the recent past. Because you might be thinking to yourself, well, wait a minute, like there's a group here, they're receiving this message like right before it's about to happen. They're getting the heads up. Like that's not fair. But I feel like it might be fair because I think they've also gone through a moment in the past where they weren't given a heads up or given any help or given any assistance. And you're learning that there is that group here. If you're a part of this group where this is the first time, because you may have felt like you didn't take this opportunity, or that you would have done this differently, kind of a thing. And you're just meant to hear that, look, these people, it's happened again for them. And so, I'm hearing that Bible quote. It's one of my favorite quotes. And it's like, for I know I have the plans that I have for you, plans not to harm you, plans to prosper you and give you hope in a future. And I feel like it's divine energy that's coming through, very strong, very loving energy. So this message is not meant to be hurtful in any way. This is meant to be uplifting, and it's just pure love energy. And I keep hearing that. I love you. I love you. And I looked up, oh my gosh. So I can see the bottom of one of my decks here. And literally I can see that it says, I love you on it. I feel like this is just such loving energy. So now that we've prefaced this, okay, let me tell you what it is that I'm seeing. So in my mind's eye, I'm seeing this huge, breathtaking, golden, ornate Libra scales. I mean, it is just wow. And at the top of it, I can see embossed a symbol of the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune card for me is the Hand of God card. And I feel like that's exactly what this moment, exactly what this choice is for you that seems so inconsequential. It is the hand of God coming into your karmic timeline in order to offer you this golden opportunity, this golden option, this golden parachute I just heard. And whatever it is, you do not deserve it. And I mean that in the best way. And I think partly this message is supposed to remind you of like God's love and God's providence, and that it's here, and that you don't have to deserve God's love. God loves you so much. And so when I'm saying that you don't deserve it, I mean that it's not entirely linked to karma, which is it's important in the Earth School, right? The Earth School is made up of karma and memory, in my opinion, right? Karma means action. So we build our own lessons here in the Earth School through our actions. And I mean that in such a pragmatic way, just as if you were driving a car down the road and you took a left at this intersection and a right at that one and another left over here, and then you ended up at the Piggly Wiggly. That Piggly Wiggly was there. If you took the left and if you took the right, you were going to end up at that Piggly Wiggly with the people that are there at that time. It's very pragmatic, and it's all built on our actions. So it's like there you were tootling along, and you had taken certain actions, you made certain decisions, you aligned with certain people, places, and things at certain times, and it was giving way to certain other options that were unfolding, in front of you in terms of people, places, and things. And that's what I'm talking about. That was your karmic timeline. And this is something else, though. And it's like an opportunity to kind of jump to a higher timeline where you would still be learning that karmic lesson, because it's like the divine had its eye on you. And I feel like God always is watching us very, very lovingly, because this is a group that I feel like kind of flirts with a line here, and it's like very vertical, whatever it is. So it's like you flirt with like almost crossing that line, and whatever it is, it'd be the same thing as like popping up into orbit from the earth, like popping up out of the gravity that's like pulling you down. And it would be this entire other timeline. But I feel like you kind of float up to it, and then maybe you sink a little back down, and then you kind of float up to it. And it's very kind of cyclical, whatever it is. And so Spirit was kind of watching you and maybe noticed a change, like a minuscule change. And it feels like maybe it was even subconscious to you, where Spirit was like, maybe they don't need to learn that lesson the hard way, meaning like the very karmic way, which is in my mind very much associated with this like Mars Saturn energy, which is kind of 1 foot on the brake, 1 foot on the gas. Mars is action oriented. It's very impulsive. And then Saturn is the brake, is very restrictive, and it brings in authority. And, I feel like there was something like that to do with the karmas that were playing out here on this timeline. And Spirit said maybe they could learn through this like more Jupiterian means. And that was whatever this option is. So align, but you still needed to align with whatever that option was. But this was to cause you no pain is what I'm getting, because it really is coming in from God. That's the signature of it. It really is to cause you no pain. So I think when it presented itself, whatever this option is, like I said, I think you saw it as being very inconsequential or something, because I'm seeing 2 Page of Cups energies on these Libra scales. And I don't entirely know what these represent. If you've been listening to my channel recently, you know I've been picking up on this Page of Cups energy, man. But I actually think this Page of Cups symbolizes a lot of different things, because I think this was like a karmic intersection that you were at. I don't know that it was just a single moment in time. And I'm equating that with the concept of elasticity. And I think it was Shallon Lester that was equating love with elasticity. And that really made a lot of sense to me, where like the more that you love someone, the more elasticity that you give them. And I feel like there was a lot of elasticity potentially. So you could have made an original choice, because the Page of Cups to me, first of all, this is what I mean. I think this could have been, I'm just throwing out like what it could possibly be, because I don't know what this exactly was. The Page of Cups for me can be a person, like an adult person. Maybe you didn't know them very well, and these 2 Page of Cups, like they seem very sweet, or they seem very, again, maybe inconsequential or lightweight in some capacity. That's a possibility. It also, the Page of Cups for me sometimes can be a message. So this could be some type of message that, you know, do I send a message to this person or that person? Do I respond to this person's message, or do I respond to that person's message? Do I send this message to this person, or do I send that message to that person? Like, in what way am I communicating myself? And I am getting this kind of like cut the shit kind of energy, or a like a very layered kind of hiding the details, strategic kind of message. It could be something like that. The Page of Cups for me is also an apology. So again, after something happened or whatever, maybe there's another choice here of, how do I apologize? Do I apologize to this person, or do I apologize to that person? How do I apologize? In a cut the shit kind of way, or in a very layered, I'm leaving out the details, I'm being very strategic kind of a way? It's very karmic, whatever these Page of Cups energies mean. And it seems lightweight, or it seems very consequential. But like I said, they have the potential where if you align with this golden option, it is this aligning with this Wheel of Fortune energy, which is, it is the divine hand of God. It's fate energy. It's changing your timeline, but like for the better. And I feel like whatever that path is, it's a person, it's a place, it's a thing, it's a something over here, right? It leads to some kind of inner strength, I think, first and foremost, and some kind of confidence. It releases you from like some kind of bind that I think was waiting for you up ahead. And there's some kind of strength in this like fortune energy. So it could be like, maybe it's a very abundant path, or this is like a very destined path, like something that's destined for you to do or something, but it's very strong, whatever it is. And I feel like it's very sturdy, and it just keeps growing as you move into the future, something here like that. And if you don't align with that option, it's almost like maybe you wouldn't even know, and you're not being punished. Your karmic timeline just plays out the way that it would before. Does that make sense? So talking about what this is, okay, and again, they're just showing me these energies that are kind of like blended together. Okay, sorry, that was my cat, but I kind of read with my cats, and that was my little boy cat Soul, who is an emblem of the sun. So that sun energy might be relevant here. And I was getting ready to talk about, I was seeing in my mind the Three of Cups on one side, and honestly, I was not getting a good energy from that. I was kind of associating it with Ashleisha energy, which it can be a place where the poisons of the past life kind of accumulate, but in terms of a group of people, female or male, it's not the best kind of people to be running with. Very cruel, very calculated, very codependent, low vibrational kinds of energies here. But then on the other side, I was seeing the Queen of Cups. And it's kind of a weird way of showing the Four of Cups. Like there's this higher cup. So I think maybe some of you were being asked to level up and be this Queen of Cups instead of like going with the group in some way, or to go after a Queen of Cups. But there was some kind of like higher energy here. And it might tie in with that sun energy, which could have to do with like clarifying something or shining a light on something, bringing something out into the light of day. Sun energy also has to do with philosophy. So maybe aligning your philosophy with this higher Queen of Cups energy, whatever that is, as opposed to the guiding philosophies in whatever this negative group is. It also has to do with career, but it's also an emblem of independence and healing. And I feel like maybe being independent of whatever this group is a very healing move, even though there might be anxiety here. And I think this may involve men as well. So if you are a man, this is choosing to be a divine masculine instead of running with a bunch of like idiot fuckboys and being one yourself. And if you're a woman, I feel like this is choosing a divine masculine, to like go after a divine masculine instead of with these like one of these idiot little fuck boys. And again, maybe that wasn't apparent because again, I'm seeing like the three, apparent. Hold on one second. I'm seeing that like Page of Cups energy, which again, maybe it's like just beginning stages. Maybe you didn't know which one. I don't know. But I just said apparent here. And the Queen of Cups that I'm seeing in my mind is very much pregnant. So this could have some kind of effect, or did have an effect on who you end up having kids with, like one of these like kind of fuckboy idiot types, or like an actual divine masculine. These are all things that this could be. And I know it's different for everybody. So I'm just kind of throwing this out to try to help you make sense of your circumstance, or none of it is to make you afraid in any way. That's not the purpose of this message. Okay. So just to follow the layers, because I'm not getting an exact energy here. They're mostly just showing me energies that are blended. And I just want to make sure we're following it as we go. Page of Cups, like Page of Cups or Page of Cups. It both seems maybe inconsequential or very sweet, or it's like this message energy or something. And then it's the Three of Cups and the Queen of Cups. And there's this weird sun energy. Now the next thing here that I'm getting, okay. Again, I'm seeing like two energies kind of opposed. And one, they're showing me Mars in Scorpio. And then the other, they're showing me Mercury in Virgo. And those are very interesting energies because Mars rules over Scorpio in Vedic and does very well in Scorpio. And then Mercury rules over Virgo in both Western and Vedic, and exalts in Virgo, does very well there. These are very like strong energies here. And I'm seeing this. So this Mars and Scorpio energy is a very sneaky energy actually. And it's got some kind of plan. And weirdly, I'm seeing like, okay, the ocean, you know, how it's like deep and stuff. So I'm seeing like the depth of the ocean as if I could see it kind of poured out from the side. But I'm seeing the bottom of the ocean. And this Mars energy, I'm seeing kind of rise up from the bottom of the ocean, almost like under the earth though. And it's like displacing the water though. So it might even appear to be like an emotional energy or whatever Scorpio rules over. But it's not. It feels like earthy, but it's coming up from the bottom. And it's like trying not to be seen here. And it's very much trying to go after the Mercury in Virgo energy, whoever this is or whatever this is, which is like, again, a very skillful energy. So I think it's trying to go after another person. I think for most of you, these are two people. And given that I already saw the Three of Cups, I feel like actually, I'm telling you, this is like a weirdly layered energy. Each one of these people in the Three of Cups, there could be maybe three people involved here, or like just a group even, they are all having this choice here of who they want to be. And I'm seeing like different energies for these people involved as well. But I think it's maybe in some way they're the person here that's being targeted by this Mars energy, but whoever it is, this Mars energy is like very, very sneaky and very competitive, I think. And very, very competitive. And it's kind of also like a cut the shit energy, or it can be. It cottons on really quickly to things. And it's going after this. So I want to talk. Okay, so now I want to That's the overall thing. And I feel like that might be what this divine energy is saving you from getting snapped up by whatever that is. Because it's almost like if you participate in it or you don't expose it or something, it's going to come get you. Kind of a thing. I don't know. Take that however it resonates. That's one of the layers. Like I said, I don't entirely know how this shakes up. Now I'm getting kind of energies and I feel like these are personalities, and there might be 2 people here with a blend of these traits, or there could be 3 people or more than that with a blend of these traits. They're really only giving me these blends of things. So this first energy is, again, very sneaky. And this is a very detail-oriented person, very competitively minded person. And I feel like this is the person with some kind of agenda, and they're going after somebody here that I think it's giving like Mercury, Mars, the person that they're going after. So this could be, on the one hand, someone who is very good at something that they do. And it's some kind of like technical skill, because I'm seeing whoever this is like hunched over at a table, and there might be like a detail-oriented thing. They're focused. They're very focused on their work. And maybe this is a person who doesn't really have relationships, because maybe this is the person God's trying to help. I don't know. Maybe they don't really have relationships. They just kind of have fuck buddies or whatever, because they're focused very strongly on their work, on something that they're doing here. But I think this person either is abundant or they have like the potential to become very abundant. And this is like known by this other person, and they want to like swallow them up. That's one thing. Now it could also be that this Mercury Mars person that I think is being targeted here might just be like a F-boy, like, and maybe like has a focus on that. Like, oh, I don't really care like what goes on, so long as I can like F around, sort of a thing. But if that person's getting offered this Wheel of Fortune energy, it's because they have that Mercury Mars energy where they have, I think, the capacity to be very skillful at something. And so it could be aligning them with like a divine path where it puts that to good use, or like they have some kind of opening, and that's going to build them a lot of wealth and a lot of strength if they take the higher option. But if they just kind of get swallowed up by whatever this is, then I feel like someone could fake a pregnancy, to be honest. But like, anyways, but somebody's really trying to like gobble that energy up. Now there's a third energy, and this might be a part of this Mercury Mars person, and then therefore becomes a mask of this Mars and Scorpio kind of person. Or this could be like some kind of third party that's like on the periphery. But I'm kind of getting like a Jupiter Mercury energy. So it's a very communicative kind of energy. Both of those are very like communicative planets. But where Mercury can be very detail oriented, Jupiter has a way of maybe philosophizing those details, or like, I just get whoever this is, they are seeing either life maybe from like the broadest possible perspective, or they're seeing this situation in particular from like the broadest possible perspective. So they're either not aware of the details, and that might be intentional by this Scorpio Mars person. And that, I think, if this Scorpio Mars person is also receiving this Wheel of Fortune moment, part of their choice is how they maybe communicate about or with this like Jupiter person, because they're either going to obscure the details here because the details would matter, or they're going to cut the shit and they're going to say who they are and that they're strategic, or they're going to apologize or something here. But if they don't cut the shit, then I feel like they did not align with some kind of higher energy or something. So you see what I'm saying? Everybody involved in this in some way, I think, is receiving their Wheel of Fortune moment. But getting back to this like third energy, that could also just be like a third kind of person. This could even be someone like, I'm not a fan of this person, okay? But it's like a Joel Osteen, like, or the Bible, or like, well, my pastor says this, or, our therapist says that. It's like kind of, because this, it's like maybe an authority with like Jupiter, but it's like maybe very philosophical. And again, it seems like it doesn't have the details of the situation. And if it doesn't, then it's not there. It's being strategically applied incorrectly, or this is a person who's strategically being involved incorrectly or attempted to be by this Mars and Scorpio person. Also, this could be the person that Spirit is trying to bring in, this Jupiter person, because whoever this is very positive. Like if this is another person who I'm describing now, it's like Jupiter Mercury person, this is a great person. And I think they might well be very communicative, or they have the ability to like expand communication in some way, like in this group, or maybe this Scorpio person that's sneaking up knows that, and they're trying to get, maybe for some, this Jupiter Mercury person is the target, and they're using this Mars Scorpio energy that might be a fuckboy, or might be somebody that's really focused on their work, in order to get to this person and to maybe have something to complain about. But they're not gonna, their karmic choices, are you going to cut the shit, or are you going to not cut the shit and you're going to try to keep being strategic? So I don't know, take that as it resonates. But it also could be that this Jupiter person is being sent in some way as this divine option for this Mercury Mars person that may well be targeted. But there's definitely this Mars and Scorpio person that is doing the targeting here. Yeah. And might be also another person. I don't know. So again, take these energies however it applies, because they're all kind of like mixing and swirling together. But I feel like this might be a group where each one of them has their own kind of karmic choice about that Page of Cups energy that I talked about before. And it could be, who do they align with of the Page of Cups energies, or who are they going to be with the Page of Cups energies? Because they could be sweet in a cut the shit kind of way, which is being honest, or they could be sweet in a I'm hiding and obscuring things kind of way, or they're going to choose someone who is sweet and is going to help them cut the shit, or who is sweet and hiding something. But I'm seeing, again, this like Scorpio energy trying to rise up from the bottom and try to like engulf this other person. And that's where we get this like kind of 8 of Wands energy that's like maybe a message, maybe it's like some kind of sudden turn of events, and it's going to put somebody here at a crossroads. And where they need to, like, they can go this divine providence way or not. And there might be more than one crossroads at this kind of overall karmic intersection, because like I said, it feels like there's a lot of elasticity here. But I want to say though, that it seems like there's an actual like evil woman here. And this evil woman is, could be one of these people that I've already described, or she could be somebody else, because it's like somebody here is, or possibly this group. Because I feel like this Mars and Scorpio energy could well be this group, and each one of these people having a decision as to whether or not they're going to participate in this idiocy and this very low vibrational attempt to, I just heard sabotage or like go after whoever this like Mars Mercury person is. Somebody that's either like very focused on their work, or somebody that's maybe like an F-boy or something. So participating in this group to try to strategically come up and overtake this, that's a very karmic choice. And they're doing it because I'm seeing, if this is a person or if this is a group, they're doing it because they're trying to get around this Mercury Jupiter person, who is maybe this divine option that's being brought in, or who is maybe the keeper of some kind of just straight up Jupiter energy. Because they're trying to get some kind of Jupiter energy, which is maybe some kind of expansion, maybe some kind of promotion. Maybe I think they're trying to elevate in some way. It also could be they're trying to get to some kind of money or some kind of fortune or some kind of asset that this Jupiter Mercury person may be in charge of. But they're trying to, in some way, with this Mars energy, it's not great. It's a violent energy. It can be a schmegsual energy. It can be a competitive energy where they're trying to, I don't know, compete over this person. I don't know, but it's very like aggressive, and they're trying to surprise this person, not give them their choice, is what it is. Not give them their choice. And they think that that's the way that they're going to elevate. And as a matter of fact, if they knock this shit off, that's how they're going to elevate. Because, and it could be though, that like, okay, because I'm seeing them try to go after in some way this Mars Mercury person, whoever that is. Or maybe it's, I don't know, they're going after somebody. They're trying to get around this Wheel of Fortune, or this Jupiter Mercury person, in order to get some kind of Jupiter energy, which is some kind of expansion, promotion, money. And then that leads to some kind of evil woman trapping a lion. And so I don't know who the lion is. It could be a masculine energy. It could be a leader that is very dignified. That's one thing. It could be a masculine energy that is maybe very dignified, maybe has some kind of position or some kind of power, some kind of authority, but they're trying to have control over and muzzle him. It could be somebody that's very sexy, very attractive. It could be like all of these things, but somebody is trying to build their own strength off of the back of this person in a way that is not allowing them to choose, not allowing them to consent, in a way that's tricky, in a way that is strategic. And they want to appear beautiful, or, and all of it's really cruel. And so again, I don't know if this female energy is one of these people, because it very well could be. This could be this very strategic person that's trying to overtake another person in order to get the abundance. And Jupiter sometimes can represent a pregnancy because it's an expansion, right? So in order to maybe, get some kind of an abundance, or maybe it's, maybe he's not successful yet or something, but feels like this cuts a type of image, maybe like a traditional image or something. And then that's the way that they want to build their strength. But they're going to do it by suffocating this person. I mean, so this lion is trying to get away. Or this could be maybe a group of men or something here that's going after this person to try to get this abundance energy to deliver this person in some way to this this horrible woman. But there's an evil woman involved here. And there could be like, there's some kind of type of message. And I feel like whatever this message is, if whoever this is involves with one of these people, I think it's meant to delay or cause a difficulty in the conversation that they should have with this Jupiter Mercury person. Because I'm kind of getting like, this is just one instance of this where I think somebody here would fake a pregnancy and they would drag that out for a long time so that this person couldn't send a message to somebody else here. Or so it's like, well, what do I do? I hope this person's smart enough to not continue sleeping with that person because they're just going to try to get real pregnant if that's the case. But they're just trying, at the very least, they're trying to drag out like a time period or something here. Or they want to be seen in a certain way by this person. Like, remember that time we had that pregnancy scare? Doesn't that endear me to you? We have a type of intimacy, but it was fake all along. You know, yeah, whatever this is, it's some kind of like trying to engulf somebody here by like the Eight of Wands. So some kind of trip or some kind of message. It's startling energy. And then it puts them at some kind of crossroads where they have a more positive option and a more negative option. And I think, yeah, where like they can't have their ships come in and possibly they want to block communication with somebody here, I think. And somebody here, part of it is this Nine of Swords energy. And like the way I'm seeing this Nine of Swords is somebody saying, look, my hands are tied. And I think that maybe this is part of the karmic cycle that Spirit's asking these people to break with, of like, there's anxiety, and I'm actually hearing that song, Anxiety, maybe for everybody involved, or that's like a part of it. Because somebody here I think maybe has anxiety, and maybe that's why they're going after this other person, because they think that's going to stop their anxiety. But somebody here is like, well, I can't break with this group, or I can't make my own choice or something because I'm just so anxious and I can't leave. But I'm seeing this Nine of Swords that I'm looking at, it's like somebody with their hands tied, but it's by this rope, and it's honestly, they could easily get out of it. Yeah, they might have a rug burn, you know, like on their hand, but it's like, it's nowhere near like whatever this person is saying. And it's like hand over fist is what I'm getting, but also like, oh, okay. So because hand over fist. So like the left hand is where the right hand should be. So to me, it's like the masculine, feminine sides of the body, because the left hand being on the right side, it's like, well, the left hand, so whatever they're saying, it's like, well, my hands are tied because, and then they describe their feminine side being in the place where their masculine energy should be and very much could be, which is the doing energy. Well, so it's like, okay, well, I'm this, you know, well, I could, but I'm this. So I can't do that, you know, but really they could. But they would maybe be on their own. And I think that's a part of it because there's a negative group here. There's a negative like cycle here, and it's unfulfilling. And these are bad people, like whoever this is that they're surrounded by. And so it's what breaks this kind of karmic cycle. And it is through a choice that they maybe don't see or they don't understand. Yeah. But it leads to this like King of Cups energy, which for me, it is like a Purvabhadra energy, which there's so much spiritual energy in this, because I was getting Pushya energy before, which is it's Shakti power, feminine power is spiritual energy. And then this, the Purvabhadra energy, it's Shakti power is spiritual fire. Like it's really aligning with spirit, and that spiritual fire I'm seeing kind of burn through the karmas, and it's bringing forth some kind of spiritual inheritance is what it feels like, because that's what I associate Purvabhadra with. But Purvabhadra is also, there's the lion energy, because it's Jesus, which sometimes I associate with the lion. Jesus is the lion and the lamb, as we learned in church. But yeah, so it's being tempted by the devil. So something here is like being tempted by the devil. But if you overcome that temptation by the devil, then it's like there's some kind of big spiritual inheritance. And it's, I think they escaped the clutches of some kind of evil woman here. And that's like waiting either, and maybe they were trying to deliver this person, or that they were trying to trap this person or something. But I think that's what's waiting for them. In a weird way. Yeah. It's almost like they switched places with this person for what they did, for the naughty thing that they did. Because, yeah, maybe they are like delivering this person from whoever the target is. There could be like some type of evil woman that is like trying to trap them and shut them up in some way. Take away, like this lion is a dignified, strong, maybe attractive kind of like force. And this evil woman lady is like trying to appear very innocent, but she's trying to like torture this lion, make it submissive and close its mouth, and is taking pleasure from doing that. So anyways, this was some type of like divine intervention or some type of divine choice by which everybody involved in this situation can elevate in some kind of way that they don't understand, because they're flirting with their karmic lessons here, where they're like kind of just about to get it. I feel like, and Spirit's like, listen, if you can kind of just get this, then learn that you'll continue to like solidify those lessons, but it'll be by having. You're going to have something, some kind of Jupiter energy, some kind of abundance, some kind of, and I don't know in what form that's coming in. Because for some, it has something to do with a child. Like this could even be some kind of like old soul that's a child or something that maybe they will become very abundant or something and take care of you in your old age, or I don't know. It could be anything. It could be, I don't know what this is. Because I'm just trying to illustrate for you that it doesn't have to just be like straight up, you win the lottery and you get $4 million into your account, on a Wednesday. Like it doesn't have to necessarily be that. And also it might be like a person. And that's assistive. And it could be this Queen of Cups, or maybe this like Jupiter, Mercury person who has some type of higher philosophy. And if you align with it, then... So that's what I'm saying too, is like, maybe you don't know this personally. So maybe there's, even for some of you, it's like two types of people that seem to have like a philosophy. And if you send a message to this one person over another person, that's better, and then, but you've got to make sure that you're cutting the shit when you align with the high vibrational choice, you've got to cut the shit. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways that this could shape up, but I think I'm going to leave that there. And this, I can't stress it enough. It's such a hopeful message, because I think part of it's to remind you that we build our karmas here, but it's not about suffering. And because I think Spirit has been watching you, and it's like, this is a group that kind of flirts with the line here of like finally crossing over that line and being done with a certain karmic cycle and a certain negative group of people that do not have their best intentions of heart, and they carry with them like the poisons of past lives. And it's like, there's so much benefit of like breaking away from that, because you're aligning with spiritual energy and you don't have to learn your lessons like the hard way, because this is a negative group. And so you're going to face negative things aligning with this negative group. And something's not what it seems here. It's somebody here maybe thinks that they've got a good idea in this like Mars Scorpio. I'm going to remain hidden. And there could be some kind of collusion or teamwork in this. Oh, and we're going to get this, like, we're going to get something out of it. Bet they don't. And if this is a past situation, but it didn't work out, because this is some kind of divine energy here. So, okay, I think I'm going to leave that there. But if that resonates, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.